Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video, I will be tidying up and customizing a Matchbox Rola-Matics number 69, the Turbo Fury. These were produced from 1973 until 1978. The Rola-Matics series all had some moving parts which were powered by some little tabs sticking off the back of the wheels. I'll be honest and say that some of them are pretty laughable, like the beach buggy where the driver bounces up and down. In this Turbo Fury model, the turbo fins at the rear of the vehicle spin round. They don't really do it smoothly, they kind of do it in little spurts. Having a closer look at this example, we can see it's got usual wear and tear, mainly just missing paint. All of the parts are there, and the rear fins are all intact. Feel the fury of those turbos. Here you can see the little tabs sticking out on the inside of the wheels. There are two rivets holding this model together. I start by drilling them out and taking it apart. Before I strip the paint off the metal parts, I pop the plastic suspension system out. I use some poly stripper to strip the paint from the castings. Using a wire brush on my rotary tool, I clean up the castings and remove the oxidation. The rivet posts are tapped and drilled using a 1.7mm drill and a 256 tap. I then screw in some button head screws. When I'm tapping the thread, I usually do about 4 turns and then 2 backwards to help clean the thread out. Try to make sure you get it right the first time, as going back in and tapping it again more than once often causes you to damage the original thread that you tapped. I'm going to use some candy colours on the body of the car, so before painting it I apply a little bit of polishing compound and then use some polishing pads on my rotary tool to bring it to a high shine. The body is then painted with Vallejo Candy Orange and Candy Red. With the body paint job curing, I move on to the plastic parts. As we can see, they are a bit filthy, so I take them inside and give them a wash in some hot soapy water. Here they are looking a bit cleaner. I then painted and detailed the driver and painted the turbo fins. For the base of the car, I began by spray painting it gunmetal. I then gave it a dark wash. Some metallic weathering powders were applied to bring out the details. Unfortunately, my camera didn't focus properly on this shot, but I left it in anyway so that you can see what I'm doing. To give the turbo casings at the rear of the car a kind of heated metal appearance, I first applied some gunmetallic weathering powder, followed by some metallic blue and a small amount of burnt red. The turbo casings on the rear of the body of the car were given the same effect. I'm not really worried about having the Rola-Matic effect on this vehicle, as it's mainly a showpiece, so I'm going to be getting rid of these old worn out wheels and replacing them with some nice new low profiles. The new wheels have little spaces on them and they don't quite fit in the plastic suspension system, so I have to cut off the little tabs. To finish the wheels, I apply a dark wash to the rims. Here is a look at all of our parts, refurbished, painted and ready to go back together. Here is a closer look at the detailing I did on the little driver. The turbo blades were painted in a light steel colour and then the metallic weathering applied. To reassemble the car, I begin by placing the suspension system back onto the base. I remove the screws from the body of the car. The windscreen is placed in, followed by the driver. Next, the turbo fans. And finally, the base is placed back on and screwed into place, holding the model together. So before we take a look at our finished customised Turbo Fury, let's take a moment to be reminded of what we started with. Our Turbo Fury was fully intact but looking a little worse for wear with its chipped, worn out paint job and tired looking wheels. And here it is now after our custom makeover. Gone is the worn out chipped maroon paint job, replaced with a nice shiny two-tone candy orange and red one. The worn out old Superfast style wheels have been removed and replaced with some nice realistic looking low profile mags. The underside turbo casings and turbo fins have been given a nice metal detailing. And finally, the boring white driver has been given a spruce up with his red helmet, gloves and metal steering wheel. I'm really happy with how this car came out, and I think it looks heaps better than when I started. I really like how you can see some of the imperfections in the metal through the candy paint job. I think this, combined with the heated metal detailing, gives it a really cool appearance. While we take a closer look at the car off the turntable, I'll just take a moment to welcome all my new subscribers and say a massive thanks to everyone for the great comments on my videos. Thanks heaps everyone. Thanks heaps for watching. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe.